After studying this module, you shall be able to know about the project planning process, learn about the techniques of project planning and appraisal, identify factors affecting the project selection, evaluate various methods of project selection, analyze projects through various appraisal techniques. To begin with, project planning and appraisal is very critical for every project since huge funds are involved and the investments are irreversible. The project appraisal process starts with the planning of project selection using various techniques, proceedings with the analysis and then selection, implementation and review. As the project sponsor believes in only profit churning projects, so every care should be taken while selecting the project. This module will take care of planning of project selection and its appraisal. Planning project selection process begins with the allocation of resources, which in turn starts from the capital allocation. First is capital allocation. Capital is one of the expensive and most critical sources. Prudence is required while allocating capital. The classification, estimation and selection of project proposals are generally adopted by a capital allocation framework as defined by the core management. It helps in chalking out of the strategies and so on. Second is human resource allocation. Human resources are critical to any project. So, while planning about the selection of the project, the measures for the labor usage is man hour, man days and so on. Third is material allocation. Material like machinery, consumables are required for successful running of the project. While planning the project selection, the complete plan must be made about the allocation of resources in such a way that both the economy and efficiency must be met. Now, we will talk about the factors affecting the project selection. There are certain critical factors which affect the selection of a particular project proposal. These are: first, profitability. It is one of the critical factors influencing the selection of a project proposal. It reflects the relationship between profit and investment. Profit after tax divided by net worth. As shown by the equation, profitability is computed by dividing the profit after tax with net worth of the project. The proposal having promising profits will be selected upon the other having less profit. Second is risk. It reflects uncertainty with variability. It shows how much the actual differs with the expected. A simple measure of variability is the range and dispersion. Third is growth. Growth is inevitable for any business. The proposal which depicting faster growth than the other will be preferred over the other.
Next, we will discuss about project selection method. Various project selection methods are used by organizations keeping in view their resources and goals. Every method has its own distinct feature keeping in view the objectives one or other method is chosen. Although one method is different from other in one form or the other, but the underlying principle is same. So, there is no question that which method is best. There are two types of models: benefit measurement models, constraint optimization models. First model is benefit measurement model. This model is extensively used in the selection of project and is based on the present value of estimated cash inflows and cash outflows. In this method, the cost and benefits are calculated and compared with the other project proposal in order to take the decision. The various benefit measurement methods for project selection are given below: benefit cost ratio, payback period, net present value, internal rate of return, scoring card method. Under this, the first is benefit or cost ratio. As it is clear from the name, benefit or cost ratio method calculates the benefit from the project as compared to the cost incurred on the project. The ratio shows the relationship between the present value of inflow and the present value of outflow. The project with highest benefit or cost ratio is selected. The second is payback period method. This is another method of selecting the project. This method calculates the time required for project to recover its cost. The project having the shortest payback period is selected. The third one is net present value method. This is one of the discounted method where time value of money is considered herein. It is assumed that the dollar earned today is more important than tomorrow. This method talks about the difference between the present value of cash inflows and the present value of cash outflows of the project. The project having positive NPV is only considered and the project highest NPV is selected. The fourth is internal rate of return method. This is the rate of return where NPV is 0. In other words, this is the rate where present value of cash outflows is equal to the present value of cash inflows. The project with higher IRR is selected. The fifth one is weighted scoring model. In this method, the key factors required in the project are listed and then weighted according to their importance and priority, and then all weighted values are added. This criteria is adopted for the entire project proposal and the project having highest weighted scoring is selected. The second model is constraint optimization model. This is a series of mathematical models used for project selection. Basically, these models are used in the very large projects. The various methods used under this model are: first, linear programming; second, non-linear programming; third, integer programming; fourth, dynamic programming; and fifth, multi-objective linear programming. The above methods are used in complex and large projects. Next, we will talk about project analysis and appraisal. Project appraisal appraises whether the project is feasible in terms of financials and other resources vis-a-vis its benefits. Appraisal covers four major aspects of the project: technical aspects, institutional aspects, financial and economic aspects, and marketing aspects. First, we will discuss about technical aspects. Technical appraisal of the project involves its engineering and design feasibility study as it is concerned with plant location, layout, technology used, cost estimate, and their relation to engineering and design on which they are based, proposed procurement arrangements, the potential impact on human and physical environment, and other resources required. Second one is institutional aspects. Institutional appraisal is concerned with human capability and institutional framework in which projects are implemented. Many projects have limitations at human and institutional level, also called soft inputs. Therefore, project appraisal requires careful and sensitive considerations of institutional dimension and local conditions. The third one is financial and economic aspects. Financial appraisal deals with the financial adequacy of funds, the financial viability of the project, borrower's ability to service debt, procedure for recovering investment, and operating cost and assessing the payback of the project along with its capability to return a profit, whereas economic appraisal is concerned with whether the project contributes to the aggregate income as well as towards social welfare through the use of social cost benefit analysis as the appraisal technique. The fourth one is marketing aspect. Marketing appraisal of the project is concerned with the marketing acceptability of the project by the consumers, for which various researches have conducted in order to check its feasibility. Next, we will discuss about project appraisal and analysis techniques. Project analysis and appraisal techniques are used by the project manager in order to decide whether the project is worth taking or not. All the techniques are linked in one or other way, like strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threat analysis like SWOT, problem tree, and logical framework analysis are constructed into the progress of project cycle. They are being included in setting up the project objectives to meet the desired aim and the establishment of an analytical framework. In the appraisal and evaluation of project's life cycle, financial and economic analysis have a role to play. The techniques used in the operation research, like network, critical path analysis, program evaluation, and review technique analysis, and linear and non-linear programming, may also be used project identification and preparation. Once the project is operational, there are other techniques that concentrate on planning and scheduling individual project components or jobs. One of the basic techniques used on large engineering, production, and physical infrastructure projects is network analysis or critical path analysis, which is also known as CPA. The first technique is critical path analysis. Critical path analysis is used to planning, scheduling, and controlling practical situations wherein many separate jobs which make up the whole task can happen at the same time in such a way that it is difficult to recognize when the first phase ends and other one starts. CPA identifies three phases. Planning phase. This phase clarifies the aim of the project and the arrangements of project tasks into an order of precedence. Some tasks will be carried out in parallel and other in series. Schedule phase. The schedule phase comes out of the planning phase and convert the plan into feasible actionable schedule, which paves a way towards achieving the project objectives with reference to the optimum use of available resources such as time, human resources, and equipments. Control phase. Control phase comes out of schedule phase and allows the actual progress to be monitored by ensuring that the activities are running according to the schedule. The second technique is PERT, that is PERT analysis, which is also known as program evaluation and review technique. This technique is used to analyze the time involved task in completing a given project. It is also one of the techniques to plan and schedule the large and complex projects. It differs from critical path analysis in that it allows for uncertainty by building into the project scheduling time constraints for each activity, including quickest reasonable time, most likely time, and worst time. The third technique is SWOT analysis. It is one of the planning tools. It is an analysis of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of an organization that it faces. While strength and weakness analyze the internal environment of an organization, and opportunities and threats analyzes the external environment like economic, social, political, legal. SWOT analysis can be used at any point of project life cycle. It is one of the important tools while considering the competitive position of the company. It is also one of the tools for the corporate planning. SWOT analysis is useful for both public and private sector project investment project. For example, SWOT analysis project can be used to assess the success of public investment project of increasing the social and economic development. In this kind of a project, SWOT analysis is used at analysis stage in order to find out how the strengths are being used by development programs in terms of funds, resources, etc., and deal with the weaknesses, poor infrastructure, low skill, etc., and will also takes into account the threats, that is technology, demand, economic shocks, etc., and opportunities like development of infrastructure, etc. The fourth technique is problem tree analysis. Problem tree analysis is a useful first stage in the development of a project. Problem tree is a method of mapping out the problems, showing their interconnections, and predicting how a project might address these problems. The main aim is show cause and effect relationship between the problems that exist. It involves three main steps: precise definition of the framework and the subject for analysis, identification of problem faced by target group and beneficiaries, visualization of problems and their contributory factors in the form of diagram and problem tree. The fifth technique is stakeholder analysis. Stakeholders are those people who are likely to be influenced by the project and can be responsible for the success or failure of the project. It is common in case of development projects and in public sector projects for project planners to commence stakeholder analysis. The analysis takes into account the various interests of those who are going to be influenced by the project directly or indirectly. The process followed is first identify your stakeholders and then prioritize your stakeholders, understand them, at last access stakeholders' interest and potential impact of project on these interests. The sixth technique is logical framework analysis. It is a methodology for planning, managing, evaluating programs and projects. LFA, that is logical framework analysis, involves stakeholders analysis, problem analysis, analysis of project objectives, activity, and resource schedule. Logical use of logical framework analysis should ensure that the design of the project is logical, but it does not ensure that project is best one to implement. The framework provides a clear summary of the basic features of the project proposal.
To summarize, project selection is a complex process that passes through the phases of planning, analysis, selection, financing, implementation and review. Benefit measurement method and constant, I repeat, and constraint optimization method are two methods of project selection. Project appraisal covers four major aspects of the project, viz-a-vis technical, institutional, financial and economic.